So how did you feel about the trailer?
Now, what is crazy is that I have seen these trailers a lot because I picked these movies this year.
Yep.
But I kind of forget what they're about after I sort them into like, oh, this is for you, this is for me, this is for you. So the last time I saw this was like around April. And rewatching it now, even watching it on times 2 speed.
That made it worse.
There's literally no way I would ever watch this movie. Everything about this movie makes it an anti-me movie. This was a different trailer than the first one I saw. Because the first one I saw was, the reason I picked it for you is because a person got stabbed on the train car.
Yeah.
And just blood exploded everywhere.
Oh, totally.
And that was all that I needed to see to be like, well, this is for Michelle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Welcome to Tales of Our Time on Radio Taiwan International. I've started the last two like that, and I don't know why. But this is a show where we discuss stories that move us. But we're in the middle of our Fall Freakout series, where I, Amanda Stevens, and my guest, semi-returning co-host,
Michelle Chiang,
look at horror movies from or heavily featuring Taiwan. And we discuss the cultural implications of them, but we mostly discuss what makes them so scary. I talk about the supernatural ones, so we already did the rope curse last week, which honestly, for a horror movie, left me feeling pretty ambivalent.
Oh.
However, I don't think that's the case today, because now we're talking about
The Sadness, which you will definitely hate.
I hate the trailer already. Now, just to be clear, this one has a lot of trigger warnings on it.
Trigger warnings.
A lot of trigger warnings. So
okay.
you have to.
See.
The first one is violence for sure. And normally I don't put a trigger warning out for violence because we're used to a lot of violence. But this is like overstated, incredible amounts of violence. It sucks.
Incredible amounts of violence.
Suicide.
Yep. Sexual assault. There is cannibalism. Is that a trigger? That's definitely a trigger.
It is.
Just an incredible amount of violence and towards children.
No, that's going to really upset me. So anyway, I think it would also help to understand all the trigger warnings if you understand that the premise of this movie that Michelle has told me is that there is a virus that makes people act on their worst impulses. And so any terrible behavior you think a person would do, they do.
Yes.
Ew.
They
do ew. Do ew. Well,
yeah.
That's where we are starting this movie today.
Yeah. So, yeah, indeed. I have good opinions and bad opinions. Where would you like to start?
Well, before we get into the summary, which is still going to take the majority of this episode, do you think that there's anything culturally that we should know about this movie before going forward?
The closest thing that I can liken it to is a zombie flick, which means that, as previously stated for The Rope Curse, you could have the exact same story take place in any city around the world, but you would lose a certain vibe because they were actually very successful in showcasing.
So we're really vibe hunting this year.
Yeah, we are.
Last year we were doing pretty Taiwan exclusive, like those stories really had to be taking place in Taiwan.
Yeah,
this
like
year
it couldn't
though,
take place anywhere else.
Yeah.
The Sadness could definitely take place in any other town.
But you know what? I forgot about Abyssal Spider.
We all want to forget about Abyssal Spider, but I
listened to our
cannot.
episode last year about Abyssal Spider. It was a pretty good banger.
Was not pretty good.
It
was not.
So nothing really cultural tying us down. I guess we'll have to see if we can feel the vibes through your description. Michelle, could you tell us about The Sadness?
Okay. So the main characters are actually just 3. Are the boyfriend, and then there's the girlfriend, obviously.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
The boyfriend and girlfriend. And then there's creepy dude.
And everybody else I have to imagine is disposable.
Yes.
Amen.
As people usually are in a zombie flick. Okay. It's actually very straightforward as far as plotline goes.
Okay.
It opens in Geelong in the cute little apartment, and they have a goldfish, they have like house plants, they have a neighbor who like has too much basil that he clips for them.
That's
It's
cute.
adorable.
Yeah.
And his neighbor's coughing a little bit. This is your first clue that something is going on. He's got like flu
His
symptoms.
neighbor seems ill.
And when he looks down into the view, there's like a really creepy old lady standing on a rooftop, not terribly far away, that he shouts, "Hey, are you okay?" She turns and her eyes are black.
Full black.
Full black.
No whites.
No whites.
Wow. Early morning. Wow. We really get going
we get
going on the
going
races
fast.
immediately.
Yeah, that was...
Actually, you know what? That's true. Yeah. Okay. I'm sensing a theme this year.
Yep. He goes back to alert the girlfriend.
He's like, I was like standing on the roof next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice of him to say, "Are you okay?" When she looks, creepy old lady's gone. So then it cuts to them. He's driving her to the closest MRT stop, which I did route on Google Maps, by the way. It's about 30 minutes. As they're on their way to the MRT station, there is what initially looks like an accident, and they're like rubbernecking.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
there's like a gurney and there's way too much blood. Somebody's being wrestled into the back of a police car. It's bad. And then he drops her off, says, I'll make a surprise dinner tonight. You're going to love it. Kisses her goodbye.
Wow, that's the perfect life.
Right?
It's the creepy people.
She is on the MRT. He returns to Geelong.
Yeah.
And he goes to a breakfast shop.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah.
He orders a drink or a coffee or whatever from the guy who knows him. They have a good relationship, it seems. And he's standing there waiting when creepy old lady shows up. And then she's standing there and everyone starts to look at her.
So like,
something
is wrong with you.
Ama, like, are you okay? Or grandma, are you all
Grandma.
right? She basically grabs the hot oil thing out of the deep fryer and then splashes it on his face. And this is how we really high octane get going.
Did he like get her order wrong? Why did you want to do this to him?
So she starts peeling the meat off his face and eating it.
Oh my God.
This half-cooked meat.
Whoa.
And then the people in this restaurant start to, wrestle her off, and then she barfs on someone, and then the infection begins in earnest. It's like fast. He turns almost immediately. There's stabbing.
It's a total mayhem
free
fight.
for all chaos
murder
moment in this breakfast shop.
Oh my God.
That's when I sent you the text. Oh wow, this gets going fast.
I should be comparing the timestamps. Yeah.
So boyfriend runs because he's now being pursued by these mad people.
No.
Out of the breakfast shop, down
Out
the street.
Of the haven of the
He
breakfast shop.
makes
How
it to
dare
his
they?
scooter.
Okay.
So he manages last minute to get it going, and he lives, right? And at this point, he finds a safe spot and he starts texting his girlfriend because, like...
He's like, you are not going to believe what happened at the breakfast shop today.
Right? Like, don't come home. I'll come to you. She's not looking at these messages. She's sitting on the MRT.
Oh, this is in the trailer that I saw. This sucks. Okay.
Yeah, so she's sitting on the MRT, and this is where Creepy Guy is introduced. Creepy Dude is sitting next to her on the MRT. She's sitting there reading a book, as you do when you're on a long ride.
Minding her own business.
Creepy Guy starts a conversation saying, it's so nice to see someone reading a book when everyone else is on their phone.
I feel like this is a gender power play dog whistle because every time that I have had somebody tell me it's so nice to see someone reading a book, it's always been a man who wants to talk to me instead of letting me finish reading the book.
I was immediately triggered.
Yeah.
He's like sitting there and he's like looking at her and with creepy looks. And of course, lastly, he says, I think you're really beautiful.
Of course you do. Yeah,
of course
he
does.
You're talking to me.
Yeah, of course he does.
I'm adorable.
That's when she snaps back with, can you please stop it? I've told you a couple of times, I don't want to talk to you. And if you keep talking to me, I'm going to report you to the police for sexual harassment.
Go, girl.
And, by the way, she makes a train friend during this whole creepy dude situation.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
unfortunately, this was not the right.
On the other side of not the train, but on the other side of the car that they're in, there's a guy who has a knife and begins stabbing.
This was what was in the trailer that I saw. This is where it's like Quentin Tarantino.
Very Quentin Tarantino.
He stabs a man on the train and the man like explodes in blood.
Okay.
I'm not exaggerating. Look at the trailer.
I will deliver my opinions about the blood.
Okay.
And of course, the infection spreads very, very fast. At this point, each action scene is so chaotic and extraordinarily violent that you can't tell what is going on. This fist flying is very upsetting. He's got his umbrella and he stabs train friend in the eye with his umbrella.
Oh my God.
The doors open and everyone runs out and train friend and girlfriend, they take the opposite direction that the crowd is running.
That's what you
very
gotta
smart.
do.
And this is where in the trailer they're running down this like walkway place.
Yeah.
Train friend stumbles. They're like in this passageway, underground passageway, and then creepy dude has followed them. Girlfriend, she managed to haul the train friend up to her feet, and she says, "We have to get out because right upstairs there's a hospital. I know this stop, and we can get you help." Manages to get her friend up and into the hospital. On the other side, the guard actually has been alerted that there's a bunch of crazy stuff happening.
The guard is like, I never thought this was going to be an action job.
Right? He's lowering the metal grate. They make it out. Now they're in a hospital, and they learn that it's some kind of an emergency, and the hospital itself is shut down. There is no movement within the hospital. A lot of the doors are locked.
Honestly, that's actually probably the smartest thing you could do.
Yes.
It's like, we're not going to get anybody in the room with anybody because everyone is freaking out.
Exactly. There's a couple of nurses that are able to help her friend. And they're watching the TV, and on the TV, there is the president of Taiwan. and guy in charge of the military, whatever you call him, and they're trying to inspire the public that we're going to get through this. Taiwan can bind together. General turns on screen, on air, and he takes a grenade and shoves it into the president's mouth. And of course, his head explodes.
Wow. Really anti-motivating speech.
Yes. It creates pandemonium in this hospital waiting room,
Yeah.
and people start fighting. The glass door, which was their only barrier between themselves and the outside, breaks,
That's too bad.
and creepy dude shows up.
How does he know? I guess it doesn't impair your thinking, which sucks. Because if it were a zombie virus, you would stop thinking.
Yes. So she runs through one of the doors in the hospital. San's friend, creepy dude, finds the subway friend, does stuff
Ew, what?
extremely graphic.
Wow, so I guess we're not going to describe that. I don't think we can say that. I'm so glad I didn't watch this movie. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't watch this movie.
Yeah, that is the most upsetting thing I've seen in a Taiwan movie. So then you start to see, the girl is hiding, and she's trying to contact. She manages to grab somebody's phone, manages to line her boyfriend. So the boyfriend is at a rest stop, and he's promising he will come find her.
Oh, no.
And he starts crying at this little
Oh, it's been a trying day.
it's
been a
rest
rough
stop
day.
thing. But what's been happening to a lot of these people as they become infected is they start tearing.
Oh, so we don't know if he's infected.
We don't know. And then we follow his story a little bit, and he, defeats some people on his way into Taipei to look for her.
Yeah.
And it's difficult because, roads are clogged, there's infected everywhere. It's pandemonium.
Well, and I would also say the opportunity for disaster is so high when you live in a country where most people drive scooters, but some people drive buses.
Yes, we then skip back to girlfriend. Girlfriend is upstairs in the upper level of the hospital, which is under renovation. So it's creepy with the sheets and the plastic.
That.
And, right?
Very good.
She's still being pursued by creepy dude.
I feel like he should have lost her by now.
Yeah.
In a couple of times, a couple of places. How good is his eyesight?
Creepy dude and her have a confrontation where the only weapon that is available to her is a fire
I
extinguisher.
was wondering
Yes.
when fire extinguisher is an underrated weapon, it was going to become relevant.
That
which
was a
was the
text.
last text
Yes.
you gave me.
Yes. So she beat his head in with a fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Not R.I.P. creepy dude.
Rest in pieces.
Rest in pieces. And that was the end of that. She's upstairs, and weirdly, there is a metal, those, it's like an X-ray door. The metal door slides open, and there's a guy in a hazmat looking suit, and he motions her in.
Oh, he's on it.
Yeah. She goes in the room, they shut the door. Turns out he's the virologist.
Okay, so this is the moment in the movie where I'm the expert to tell you exactly how everything
So he
works
can monologue.
before I die.
So you can monologue. But of course he says, handcuff yourself to the wall where there is a shower thing. I'm sorry, it's cold, but you have to wash yourself off. And he does whip out a gun because she refuses.
Oh, well, then that takes care of that. Yeah.
And he says, I'm so glad I 3D printed this and kept some bullets for my military service.
Does he literally say that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
To explain, because in Taiwan, there are no guns. Civilians.
I still wouldn't have questioned it. That's a line for Taiwanese people.
Yeah.
Because
Where did you get the gun?
where did you get the gun?
You're a doctor.
That's so true.
So please, shower. So she does. And throughout this whole thing, he's monologuing about what's been happening. Yeah. That this is a mutation of a virus very similar to rabies, and it basically removes the inhibitions from people's movie science. And he saw stuff happening, and he came up here, and in the room there's a bunch of empty baby cradles.
Oh no!
And as she's finished dressing, she tosses her old clothing. She opens the bin, and then there's baby crying in the bin.
He's infected.
No, he himself is not, but he's the worst kind of human. And she, looks in the bin for a baby, and there is a baby in there. The baby has black eyes. There's a baby in the bin, it's infected.
Oh, and this is where you're saying, wow.
And this is where...
The movie didn't have to do that.
It did not have to do that. Virologist guy, you kind of see the facade breaking, says, I had a sample of the virus, and I thought, we're going to need a cure, and we need to find someone who's immune because we can produce a cure from someone who is immune to the virus. So he injected the babies with the virus. I call him final boss because this is the worst kind. And then while she's freaking out, he stabs her in the neck with the serum that is the virus.
What? Where is the boyfriend?
It turns out that she is immune.
Yeah.
And he's good. He says, I have a helicopter coming. I've just hailed it. It'll be here in 5 minutes. We have to get upstairs to the roof, and I will take you to the military facility where we will get a cure from you. And that's when boyfriend shows up.
Correct.
And he's obviously infected. Like his eyes are, and he's all got blood on him,
no.
and he's like, I found you. I promised I found you. He sees hazmat suit final boss holding her captive. Of course, says a bunch of vulgar stuff about, are you with him now? And then he attacks the doctor.
Okay, well, at least he attacks the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor winds up dying. The girlfriend's terrified, but there is a security thing between the hallway and the helipad door.
Mm-hmm.
She gets through. She grabs the keys from the doctor at last minute as the doctor is getting murdered.
Here, take these.
Yeah. And then she gets through the metal grate, slams metal grate, so the boyfriend is in the hallway with the mess.
Okay, go on.
But at this moment is when it actually is pretty sad because he's like trying to reach her through the grate, and he's like, I love you so much. All I wanted to do was be with you. And he wanted to be with her.
Crippling.
It's crippling.
Now, this is what I was saying, because in my mind, I was like, okay, if you can put the boyfriend in a box and then keep him in the box, and then you go get the cure, your boyfriend should be able to
be cured
if they can get the cure within like a week.
Alas, he's saying all these beautiful things.
Oh, no.
But then towards the end, he starts to say depraved things.
His crazy
is starting to come out of things that he wants to do to her.
Yikes.
And she turns, she goes through the helipad door, and then the movie ends.
Wow, I thought they would at least be like, we got the cure, but they're like, no, a cure is possible.
So, thoughts?
I'm so glad I didn't watch this movie.
It was, oh my.
This is also, I think, the first movie we have ever talked about where we're like, and this something happens that we can't
talk about it.
Whoever is listening to this in the future, know that this episode has been heavily edited.
I'm so sorry. I chose
this movie. I said you should watch it. I regret asking you to watch this movie, but I also think you're the only person I know who could have.
I have a weird compartmentalization ability where I can watch this stuff and it doesn't mess me up in nightmares or stuff later. So
yeah,
it's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay, but it's okay. So opinions. Horror movies, they either do well by plotline, story twists, and telling a good story, or they shock and awe.
I would say I think there's a third option.
Okay.
Because this is my favorite type of horror movie, with creeping realization of something bad that either has already happened or is unstoppably about to happen. And I think so there's three. Shock and awe,
storylines,
scary, and then the creeping dread.
So this was definitely a shock and awe movie. That's almost all it was.
Shock value.
Yeah. It was just to mess with people's moral sensibilities with how horrible it could get. You think that it got bad, and then it would beat itself in the next scene.
I think that's the problem with starting off so hot. Like, it's a big shock, and it is upsetting. But when you start off with the breakfast shop brawl,
deep fryer oil,
if you want to escalate from that, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
You know?
But they did. What I also was surprised that they didn't do was there wasn't a single jump scare in this movie.
Really?
Not one.
Now, I don't know if this is a fair question to ask. Are you sure there wasn't supposed to be a jump scare in the movie and then...
It just didn't affect me?
Maybe? I think you're already so stressed out.
Because the jump scare is effective because there is a period of time where you're waiting, you're dreading, and then jump scare, right?
Yeah.
But this movie was just not that. So, bad opinions. I cannot suspend disbelief if you get the science wrong. So if it is based on rabies is actually an incurable virus. We can't actually cure it once it's reached a certain point.
Viral load
in a human. And what rabies does is it does cause a kind of like a psychosis in people.
Like a mania.
Yeah, mania.
Yeah.
But the reason why rabies does make people do that is it directly attacks the brain.
Yeah.
And in this movie, virology guy, when he was dumping info, it was like it completely spares the brain entirely, and that's why people's decision making is intact. And I'm like, what are you talking about? People's decision making is not intact.
This also would have been a movie that would have done much better had it said less.
Yes,
in many ways. Don't give us the full everything. Just say like it's based off of
rabies. Done.
Rabies.
Stop talking.
Makes people do crazy
things. And also the incubation period. The incubation period for viruses
is pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
Well, that's why it's a zombie apocalypse movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to say dupe because that implies like it's not effective. I think it is. So the science for you didn't sell you on the sadness.
Also the blood. Now, when it comes to this movie, it was not advertising. So immediately the blood exploded.
No, you did see the trailer. Well, actually, no. Did you see the trailer before you watched it?
Only a little.
You missed the part that I was like, this is the movie for
you. The guy exploded? No.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be bloody because of all those things we're doing, but it was very weirdly bloody. But overall, if you can handle the level of vulgarity, it was not a bad movie.
What's your spooky rating?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I forgot to do on the last one too. But well, that's too bad. We'll never know my spooky rating of that one. So on a scale of 1 to 10,
Okay.
And 1 is not scary, and 10 is like super bad.
I would give it a 5, solidly in the middle.
Really?
Simply based on the fact that it's disgusting. It kind of hints at what people are capable of, and that's what's most scary about it, because Final Boss wasn't infected, he was human.
I would give this movie, and I couldn't watch it out of 10.
I couldn't watch it, not at all.
But here's, I want to end on this. Movies that are like, it's going to reveal that thing that you've always wanted to do. I believe that there are people out there whose like inhibitions are not violent and evil, but probably just weird. And how come we don't see more of those guys?
I'm sure they were
Like
hiding.
there should be more people who like they get the virus and they like just run through the streets screaming naked. Right? Or like they start dirty dancing on top of a car.
I'm pretty sure they were there, but
they
we weren't
go
focused
into
on
a pet store and start kissing every animal in the store. Because those are also your impulses that are like, I know I can't do that and I have to contain myself, and that's what I really want. But every time one of these movies comes out, it's like your impulses that you've always tried to push back, and it's like I
want to kiss dogs.
Go through most of my days without fighting through the urge of like desperately wanting to hurt another person. Most of the time, actually, I can get through a day without feeling that. I see your guilty face.
Yeah. If we removed impulses from Michelle, it would be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is we still have that. As for next week, I don't know where we're covering yet because we're going to do the rope curse too, but that's presenting a small problem. So next week is a surprise.
It is a surprise.
But it is going to be another supernatural horror movie. I think it's probably going to be a haunted hospital. So we'll be back in hospitals. And that's fun. That's something that we have in common. But in the meantime, this has been Tales of Our Time on Radio Taiwan International. I was Amanda Stevens with my guest co-host for our Fall Freakout segment,
Michelle Chiang.
And thank you so much for listening. We will be back with another hospital movie maybe next time. And in the meantime, we'll see you next time. Bye.